The protocol is...
He is here.
Yes. Well, let's follow him.
Maya.
That's it.
Yes, we're gonna, now we go.
I call him my father.
And the guy? No, the master.
the UNFPA representative, members of Parliamentary, the President, heads of institutions, both government and private, and all the mayors represented from different countries, welcome to the smiling coast of Africa. Before we start the program proper, may we all rise for the national anthem of the Gambia. Thank you so much for joining us for this event. My name is Jana Basonko and I'll be your moderator. When I look at this hall today, I feel so excited about the different individuals who are gathered here today to put their hands and heads together to ensure that we devise solutions when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence. The United Cities and the local government secretariat, in collaboration with Rafela and other partners, decided to bring us all here together so that we have the right conversations and look for a way forward. I am particularly inspired to stand in front of you today because as a journalist, I am quite prone to issues of sexual and gender-based violence. And I am sure that if I should have asked women in this hall to raise their hands and say if they've ever experienced sexual and gender-based violence, the entire hall of women will get to raise their hands up. That is how much of a pandemic sexual and gender-based violence is. But notwithstanding, we also want to recognize the presence of our he for she's. When I look at the hall, I see a lot of men present here today. And considering the fact that most of the perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence are men, so a round of applause for the he for she's present here with us. We really, really appreciate your support because you have a very, very important role to play. So like I said, the organizers of this event brought us here together to ensure that all the representatives attending this training share their experiences when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence and how we can move forward as a country. So without further ado, we will start the program proper. We apologize for the late start. So I'm about to introduce a woman to deliver the opening remarks who has changed narratives. 10 years ago, as a young girl who's interested in leadership, I never thought that a woman will be a mayor in Banjul. This is because
as a country, we understand that our country is very, very patriarchal. And she decided to lead a change years to come. And then Banjulians had the confidence in her due to the amazing work that she has done to vote her again. So we are happy that Gambians' mindsets are changing when it comes to women leadership, but obviously there's a lot of room for improvement. A round of applause for the Mayor of Banjul, Rohimari Lo, to deliver the opening remarks.
alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin maa ngi gërëm jigéen ñi Banjul maa ngi leen a gërëm di leen santa lii xew nii lii Rohey Malick Lowe isi fii si Gambia bi fii amut apaken bi Gambia juddoo ba léegi mooy meeyo bi ko njëkk a def biir Gambia ma bëgg mbooloo mi 1 minute ñu tàccul ko Rohey Malick Lowe 1 minute nañu ko tàccul tàccul leen ko
jërëjëf so
jërëjëf
waaw jërëjëf
sa liggéey rafet na
waaw so fu mu nekk nii rek ñu invite mayor bi mu wax comme ni ma leen ko waxee woon rek ñu mayante su ko defee event bi mun a gaaw mayor the floor is yours.
Auzu billahi mina shaytani rajim. Good evening. So. Solidarity. So. Solidarity. So. Solidarity. So. Solidarity. Thank you so much. Representative of the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Honorable Babu Karboy, Minister for Public Service, Your Excellency, First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Madam Fatou Babaro, Your Excellency, the Secretary General of the United Cities of Local Governments, World Secretariat, Madam Emilia Sachs and team, our esteemed guest mayors from all the regions of Africa, please allow me to single out Honorable Maria Helena Nanga of the Republic of Mozambique, who doubles off as the Vice President of Rafela, Southern African region. Honorable Cabinet Ministers present, representative of the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable CDI, Honorable National Assembly members here, members of the Diplomatic Corps and the UN system in the Gambia, the President of the Gambia Association of Local Government Authorities, Chairman Mohamed Sise of Basi Area Council, my colleague mayors, Chairman of area councils and councillors of all regions of the Gambia, my very own Deputy Mayor here present, Your Excellencies, former Vice President, and my very own father here present, the head of political parties in the Gambia, service chiefs, members of the civil society organizations, religious leaders here present, the media fraternity, Rafela National Coordinator, Madam Aissatou Ndiaye, coordinators from all regions of the Gambia, our distinguished women and youth here present, and our able he for she president, Mr. Omar Toure. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be part of this event today, an event that will go down in the history as a pride for local governments of our motherland, the Gambia. This event is an international training on violence against women scheduled from 22nd to the 24th of January 2024. Your Excellencies, it is important to inform you that eradicating all forms of violence against women is at the heart of the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals. As you may all know, Goal 5 of the SDGs is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. And Target 2 of the goal is to eliminate all forms of discrimination against women and girls. This is a call to action to end all forms of gender-based violence, particularly violence against women everywhere. Your Excellencies, we do not want to be left behind. Therefore, we're involved to contribute to building the Africa we want. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this gathering, I must emphasize, represents all local governments in Africa. And the added value of the event is the presence of the Secretary General of the World Secretariat herself, my very dear sister, in our midst. Your Excellencies, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, my task today is very simple one, to welcome our guests and show appreciation to all those who contributed to the organization of this event. I want to especially welcome our dear Secretary General, Her Excellency, Madam Emilia Sachs, and all other colleagues who took time from their busy schedules to attend this training in the Gambia. It means a lot to us, as I know how busy mayors are, and I don't take this for granted. We are most grateful. Please feel at home here in the Gambia, as the Gambia is home to everyone. This is even more evident as our President has granted all Africans free entry into the country. It is important to mention that the Gambia is one of the first African countries to grant free entry to Africans into the country. Therefore, I am correct to say that you don't even need to be in a hurry to go back, as this is home. If you go around the country, for example, you will find neighborhoods named after African countries like Ghana Town. This is because Gambians are widely hailed for being welcoming and hospitable, which encourage people to visit and settle as one united African family. Therefore, you are all encouraged to enjoy your stay. Dear colleagues, dear partners, ladies and gentlemen, the Gambia, known as the Smiling Coast of Africa, has a population of about 2 million inhabitants and is one of the safest countries on the African continent, with very warm and friendly people. In addition to our hospitality, the Gambia offers exceptional opportunities for investment, conferencing, and as a holiday destination. You are encouraged to schedule your future international meetings and events in Banjul. We are here and more than prepared to facilitate any gatherings, as we have all the facilities. We also have beautiful sandy beaches for your holidays. I will not forget to let you know that due to the hospitality of our people and the safety of our city, as well as the facilities we have to offer, the Gambia is almost fast becoming a choosing destination for retirement for many people from many African countries, Europe, and elsewhere. Dear colleagues, my city, Banjul, the capital city of the Gambia, is an island. Is an island with a population of over 30,000 residents. During the day, with its many activities, the city receives over 300,000 or more people. Banjul, the pride of the Gambia, holds the seat of power with a port which serves as a driving force for the country's economy. You will have the opportunity firsthand to see more when we take a tour around. Your Excellencies, our able Secretary General, Madam Emilia Sachs, believes firmly in the empowerment of women and girls, which she placed high on her agenda, including the Rafaela agenda. Madam Emilia is also sensitive to the pledge of our people. If you can recall, after the flash floods in Banjul and the 2021 back to school, my team and I impacted over 800 students with school materials that were fully funded by her organization. It is also important to mention that over 50% of my international engagements and travels are fully funded by the United States of Local Governments, World Secretariat, or its partners, especially given the fact that she understands the importance of multilateralism and women leadership towards the development of our country. On behalf of the people of Banjul and by extension the Gambia, I welcome you and your team and thank you daily for the unflinching support. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to highlight some of our programs towards women and youth empowerment and local community development. For example, our ongoing Rafaela Youth Volunteerism Program, supported by UN Office of the South-South Cooperation and UNDP, which is targeting to train 500 youths and women on marketable skills and volunteerism, both locally and internationally, through South-South Cooperation and bilateral relations. Similarly, through Rafaela Better Life Project, in partnership with the city of Lafifat, under the leadership of Mayor Amina in the Kingdom of Morocco, we were able to dug boreholes for women, gardeners, and build sheds in the Banjul market, benefiting over 112 vulnerable women, which I am so grateful of. In addition, our EU Banjul Austin project has constructed 23 classrooms at Krabailan, community radio, recording studio, 700 people hall capacity, greening of the city, urban gardening for women, and growing of coconuts at the beach side to control sea erosion. I am so grateful for the support. Through a multilateralism cooperation with the local and national government, we were able to build a well-structured multipurpose youth complex funded by the World Bank, which our youths are all proud of, and I am particularly grateful for this. I will not do justice to this august gathering without recognizing the efforts of the steering committee, which was headed by Dr. Juliet Sal, Regional Director for West Africa of the United Cities and Local Governments of Africa, and advisor to the President of Rafaela Africa, that is my humble self. Your Excellencies, dear colleagues, it is important to inform you that for over 4 months, they have been planning tirelessly and have done an extraordinary job beyond expectation. I thank them so much for their efforts. I wish to use this opportunity to also thank the Gambia Immigration Department under the leadership of Mr. C.D. Toure, who facilitated all visas on arrival for non-Africans in a timely manner. Thank you for your professionalism, Mr. Toure. To the councillors, management and staff of the Banjul City Council, many thanks for your time and contribution. I could not have done anything without you. To my CEO, I am grateful. To all councillors, thank you so much. But to my fellow members, thank you so very much. To the authors, drivers, protocols, cleaners, and staff of the Banjul International Airport, merci beaucoup for your very important participation. To Mr. Maget Samba, I am grateful. Thank you, sir. To the Chief Executive Officer of the Q Group, Mr. Mohamed Jah, my dear brother, I am short of words to thank you, but the least I can say is thanks for your patriotism and for accepting to shoulder part of the responsibility. We salute and appreciate you, sir. To all development partners and invited guests, thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to attend. You are highly appreciated. My sincere thanks and appreciation to the Gambia Police Force under the leadership of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Abdoulaye Sanyang. To the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Honorable Ahmad Ba, Honorable Minister of Fisheries, Honorable Musa Drame, and indeed to my dear father, Honorable Usainu Dabo, who is sitting right there, my special appreciation to you. Indeed, if you want to know, my father gave me a cow and 2 sheep, but that is still not enough. I'm demanding for more. To the Honorable Deputy Speaker, Mr. C.D. Njai, many thanks for the endless meetings and the many disagreements, but we can all agree today that it was valuable as relation between us and the government. I have to commend you for your patience with all the pressure we put you through and having to answer endless emails you were always focused on. I thank you for all your efforts and for having this event close to your heart. I know, and I mean it, I know it was not easy at all. Thank you so much. To all political parties, thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to attend. You are more than appreciated. Last but not least, to His Excellency, President of the Republic of the Gambia. Sir, I remain grateful for the support towards this event and for receiving us at your office this morning, despite your busy schedule. You are particularly concerned about the comfort and security of the delegates, and I can assure you that they are at home here. Your contribution is appreciated, and we are grateful. I sincerely thank you most, especially for accepting to be our guest of honor for this event. This is highly appreciated. Assalamu alaikum. Xam naa ne ñu bari fi li ma wax duñ ko dégg waaye tey dinaa ko gàttal dama am mbégte parce que ku mel ni secretary general bi di Emilia Sats nga xam ne 250,000 cities ñoo nekk ci gannaawam members waxuma nit de cities nga compté Banjul compté Dakar compté Bamako ba mu 250,000 ñoo nekk ci gannaaw jigéen bi a woman of substance jigéen boo xam ne daf ma jëlee point A yóbbu ma to point C moo gërëm ko sant ko keroog ba mu waxee ne dafa ñëw ci dëkk bii dafa bindal lettre yónnee ma bindal lettre yónnee nguur gi nag ñu def seen waar ñoom it ñoo fekk si ma ñu liggéey suma brother His Excellency Adama Barrow ma ekkati Sidi Ndiaye ne ko yow laa bugga nga bokk ci steering committee bi steering committee boobu nag Dr. Juliet Sall mii moom la organisation bi United Cities Wall jox pour mu jiite ko ñu am dëkk bu nekk France dëkk yi yépp 20 mayors yépp fu ñu jógee ku nekk indi kenn ci steering committee bi mu nekkoon nag liggéey bu métti tey xëj na fii taaru na ñu bari loolu rek la ñoo gis waaye mu nekk liggéey boo xam ne ñi ci jàppa dañ bari parce que kii heavyweight la kii caaxaan ekkatiwu ko buddiwu ko kii guy gu sax ci suuf la kon moom su demee ba di ñëw foog ñu taaral bésam foog ñu jàpp ci bésam parce que ku mun a jàpp ci combat jigéen ñi moo nekk nii di Emilia Sands ba loolu xewee nguur gi def seen waar rafet na def waaram Banjul City Council it def seen waar ba mu doy sëkk parce que tey boo leen xoolee suma council si ñëpp ñu ngi nii toog dawuñ ci saara yaa di ndeer lañ war a def nañ ko seen matuwaay ba mu doy sëkk jigéen ñi rafet la yi tamit jóg takku ba dëgër Aïssatou Ndiaye mii jiite suma xale yu rafet la yi te yàqu ci dara boo xoolee xool bi ñu ngi nii ak seen oso bi nga gis fi ñoom Mariam Cissé gis fi ñoom Ndeye Fatima Diame gis fi ñoom Sukay Bangura gis fi ñoom Musukee Ba Caam gis fi suma chéri Koko mu nga nele moom mi nga xam ne moom tey lu wax ci rafet la rek mooy am ak ñeneen ñoom Fatou Ada kulim juum ñoom ñëppang fi ñoom Ayda Njanko ñoom ñëppang fi taaral bis bi bugg a dee ñoom Reme Jaay parce que rafet la comme ni ma dee wax seetut bunta waaye nag dama dee wax ne suñ na rafet la am na ñaari nit ñoo xam ne du ma leen mus a fàtte ci liggéey rafet la ñu ne mooy kan mooy Musukee Ba Caam mooy kan mooy Bintu SM Jayte tàccu leen ko waay mooy Bintu SM Jayte parce que ñoom ñoo jegeeñ Aïssatou Ndiaye liggéey rafet la nag dafa métti ñu jàpp ci lool bu baax a baax ndaxte sax ñëpp ci téye executive members yi awma seen fay comme li ma dee wax koo ci oo mu jóg du ñoom Ndeye Fatima du ñoom Sukay nga seet all the way fu moo jógee Abi Bangura ne randul ma dox kon yéen kenn demul ngeen des dama dee wax ne soo déggee ñuy wax rafet la du man yéen a tax ñuy wax rafet la liggéey bi yépp yéen la waaye comme que tey kii moo ñu fi indi muy Emilia Sands gannaaw bi ma sante giram dégg ngeen fi ma tudd fi turi Amad Ba dégg ngeen fi ma tudd fi tuddi Moussa Dramé dégg ngeen fi ma tudd fi suma papa jiitoo parce que ñoom it tamit dafa am fuñ ma doolelee waaye nag ñu ne lu jiit njaar mooy Adama Barrow li ko war yépp def na ñu ne nag sooy wax rek waxalal yàlla li ko war yépp def na ko parce que moo ñu boolee ndaw suba ak ngoon guddeeg bëccëg ñuy liggéeya moom tey welcome nañu teeru nañu dégg la mënu fee nekk tey parce que ku ne xam na ne dañ am extraordinary cabinet meeting waaye mu génnee honorable Boy mii ne ko demal bési secretary général bi di bési jigéen ñi di bési Rohey Malick Lowe duma ko tuutal kon Mr Boy ñu ngi laa delloo njukkal di la wax ne soo eggee nga waxal ma His Excellency ne jërëjëf kontaan nañ kontaan bu amul àpp di gërëm di sant bu ma fi toogee tey comme ni ma ko waxee si steering committee bi Basirou Dieye Maguette Samba ñoom Buuba Buuba la gaay contact directly ne ko suñ media team bi dañ bugg a yow nga organise loolu li tax nag ñu jël Buuba dinaa ci wax tuuti because ñoom dañ ko mus a invite dañ ko mus a gis liggéeyam ñu invite ko mu dem Korea kii ngeen di gis nii lu mu bugg a mu am su buggee tey dëkk àdduna bi yëpp taw day taw kii ngeen di gis nii jigéen bi te dara ñoru ko lu dul local government politique indi wu ko fi de li ko fi indi mooy naka laa doole leen jigéen yi ak naka laa doole leen ndaw ñi comme li ma wax gërëm naa Mohamed Dia parce que tey soo leen seetee billboard si yëpp Mohamed Dia moo ko doon def kon moom itamit gërëm naa ko sant ko aw ma fayam di ko bàyyee yàlla fayal ma Dr. Altif al professeur al Amin Altif mi nga xam ne moo fi toogal moom itamit Pakistan mépp loo xam ne dafa am pour dafa présent pour suñ gan yi moom itamit moo ñu ko jox su ma fa bëggee taxaw di lim fii la ñoo fanaan waaye maa ngi sant ñëpp joo si Touré jërëjëf amuñ sa fay parce que soo déggee ñu ne jigéen am na doole góor moo nekk ci gannaawam jigéen bu am doole rek góor dafa nekk ci gannaawam te joo si Oma Touré mii musu ta bàyyi rafet la benn yoon dégg la nag dama dee wax ne soo compté ñaari góor ñetti góor sa biir Gambie bi soo compté benn ñaareel ba Mbodj Seydi Kan ngaa wax Seydi Kan moo bi aha kay parce que lu ma mun tey moo ma ko mun loo tàccul leen Mbodj Seydi Kan waay tàcculaat leen ko aha kay kookoo ma may jaan ma may ma doole parce que su du toon moom nit nag kuy wax rek waxal sa digga parce que nag imaam a ngi fi xaaral ma bàyyi ma ne ko imaam a ngi fi xaaral ma bàyyi te xam naa ne su ma bàjjeen aji sukay naka nga ne de toog su paree na ma lii yëpp yaa ko wax kon dinaa emale wax waaye Mr Boy ñu ngi laa gërëm di la sant di gërëm His Excellency waaye nag fu ma daanalee suma wax mooy First Lady Madame Fatou Barrow gërëm nañ rek sant nañ la yow itamit jóg rek ñëw fekk si jigéen ñi loolu pour man it means a lot man nag ku ma defal ma wax ko de ku deful yëpp du ma ko wax man nag noonu laa mel man du ma wax kenn gis naa yàlla te gis na yàlla waaye dama ne jërëjëf Madame Diallo yow itamit jërëjëf moom ku ne suma ticca la woon nag moom waaye mu ne ma duma mun a toog mukk foog ma ñëw seet suma student bi xam naa daf doon seet damu naa riit kon moom itamit jërëjëf Madame Diallo kontaan naa ma emale fii suma wax di welcome once again suma colleague mayors yi di leen wax ne feel at home their mayors and I am very much glad that you are here and appreciate the time that all of you took from your busy schedule to come here. I am grateful. Your Lordships, thank you so very much. Assalamu alaikum.
la jaajëfal si kaddu yi nga gaaral noonu am na solo torop ba pare meyo kontaan nañ ne tamit recognize nga effort si Honorable Ousainou Darboe mi nga xam ne under his party ticket foofu lañ amee suñ force mayor bu jigéen mu nekk lu am solo ba pare mayor gaaral fi kaddu tamit ne mu ngi am strong partnership with President Adama Barrow parce que loolu lañ expect local councils yi ak sitting government ñu am that strong collaboration su ko defee ñu mën a am sustainable development si dëkk bi. So moving on, I would like to recognize the presence of the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, who is CDMK Njai. So the reason why I'm giving him a special recognize, part of the reasons, is because as Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, suñ amee bill bi nga xam ne dafa am pour def ak jigéen xam nga si loxoom lañ koo teg waaw wala déedéet jigéen ñi amoon nañ bill bi nga xam ne dafa reserve seats pour 16 women ñu yokk jigéen ñi seen taxawaay si parlement bi waaye gisoon nañ ne mënut a dem soo fi mu nekk nii gis nañ meeyoo fu mu recognize CDMK Njie ak waa parlement bi yëpp soo waa parlement bi foog ñu put leen on the spot rek su ko defee ñu ngi leen koo jox ngeen dem ak moom xam ne dinañ dellu si waat si parlement bi pour ut si bill boobu noonu nga xam ne dafa reserve seats for women pour so that they will be able anti yaadikoon mu ngi ne la jërëjëf su ko defee ngeen reserve seats yi pour jigéen ñi pour ñu mun a toog am baat si biir dëkk bi si parlement bi because parlement nekk na place boo xam ne foofu la laws yi foofu lañ ko dee defaree. So moving on, I would also like to recognize the presence of businessmen and women here. That is because as part of corporate social responsibility, we believe that businessmen and women can take their resources and contribute towards changing the narratives in relation to sexual and gender-based violence. So also, I would like to recognize our partners, QCell. Thank you so much to QCell for being part of the sponsors of this event, UNDP, UNFPA, and of course, Refela. Thank you so much for joining this initiative. So up next, I'll be introducing the next speaker, who is the representative of UNFPA, and we're so excited about them being here because we've seen the stance that they've taken when it comes to the fight against sexual and gender-based violence, ranging from the provision of contraception, capacity building, and the list goes on. So a round of applause for the representative of UNFPA, Ndeirusa. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. I have the very difficult task to speak right after my sister, the Mayor of Banjul. So I will try my best. Bear with me. Honorable Babakar Boy, Minister of Public Service, representing the President of the Gambia, Mr. Adama Barrow. Madam First Lady, Madam Fatoumata Barrow. Also acknowledging the presence of Madam Jallo, the wife of the Vice President of the Gambia, the Lord Mayor of Banjul, Madam Malik Lo, the Secretary General of the United Cities and Local Governments World Secretariat, Madam Emilia Saïs, la vice-présidente du département de la Seine-Saint-Denis, Madame Pascal Labbé, Honorable Sidi Ndiaye, Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, and also taking the opportunity to acknowledge all National Assembly members here present, members of the Refela Network, honorables, and UCLG other members, all area councils, local government representatives, members of the diplomatic and consular corps, especially the chargé d'affaires of the French embassy here in the Gambia, my colleagues, head of UN agencies, distinguished members of civil society organizations, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly and respectfully observed. Once again, good evening to you all. I'm very honored to address you during the opening ceremony of the International Training Workshop titled Towards Caring Territories for Women Victims of Violence. UNFPA expresses its sincere gratitude for being associated with such an event, with special appreciation for the Office of the Lord Mayor of Banjul, UCLG, et la Ville de Saint-Denis. This emphasizes the strength of strategic partnerships and alliances in our joint endeavor to eradicate violence against women and girls at a global scale. Just this morning, we had a very fruitful session with His Excellency President Adama Barrow, who reiterated the importance of partnerships between local and national governments and other stakeholders to make gender equality and women's empowerment a reality for shared national prosperity, regardless of colors of parties. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, local governments are critical stakeholders in addressing violence against women, especially as they deal with local communities, which provides them with the opportunity to create safe spaces for women and girls, thus embodying the theme of this event, Toward Caring Territories for Women Victims of Violence. This theme envisions territories as more than physical boundaries. They are spaces where empathy thrives and survivors of violence find solace and empowerment. Local governments are the foundation of community governance. They hold a unique position to shape policies, foster awareness, and implement initiatives directly influencing the well-being of women and girls within their jurisdictions. In the Gambia, like many countries at the global level, the challenges of violence against women persist, extending beyond mere statistics. Shockingly, 1 in every 4 women has experienced sexual or physical violence at some point in her life, aligning unfortunately closely with the global rate. Disturbingly, data from the National Gender Management Information System that the United Nations, along the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, put in place here in the Gambia. In 2023, we have registered 575 cases of gender-based violence. And these cases happen all over the country, in all local governments. In the URR, we had 53 cases. In CRR, 45 cases. In the West Coast region, 265 cases. And in the Banjul area, inclusive of Kanifing, 145 cases. These reported cases, and believe me, they are underreported, encompass various violent acts such as rape, sexual assault, defilement, sex trafficking, intimate partner violence, and physical assault. Unfortunately, none of the survivors has been able to access justice, serving as a stark reminder of the pressing need for immediate action to implement already existing legislation that protect women and girls and prevent their abuse. The time to act is now, because one woman or girl facing abuse is definitely one woman or girl too many. Based on previous report, the majority of these cases are perpetrated against these young girls, believe it or not. As we reflect on this at the training workshop, it is crucial to shed light on the culture of violence persisting in the country. The daily report on violence against women and girls underscore the urgency for change. To effectively and efficiently combat gender-based violence in cities, towns, and villages across the country, local government authorities must undertake structural and programmatic changes and include a comprehensive gender transformative approach that puts women and girls at the center of their development agenda. Representatives of local governments must not only be at the forefront of raising awareness about the prevalence of violence against women and girls, but also needs to be champions, advocating to ensure the enforcement of protective mechanisms against all forms of violence. This necessitates finding means of collecting data, which we are already doing, to understand the forms and prevalence of GBVs in both public and domestic spaces. Furthermore, developing comprehensive laws and policies to prevent and report sexual violence in public spaces is essential. These laws must be effectively implemented. Additionally, taking a gender transformative approach to urban planning, involving men and women, especially young people, in the planning process is crucial to ensure that our cities become gender and youth-friendly and more progressive. We are talking about street lights, shelters, municipal police, safe spaces for young people, and awareness campaigns. Acknowledging the profound responsibility entrusted to local government representatives is crucial to ensuring transformative change. This requires equipping and spearheading collaboration with community organizations, law enforcement, so the police, and support services to create robust networks for survivors. Local government authorities must ensure the availability of robust safeguarding policies and protocols to protect women and girls, but also to ensure that the right due diligence is done in terms of who we hire, especially those that work in spaces used by women and girls. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, as we deliberate on the role of local government in creating safe cities for women and girls, it is important to acknowledge the collaborative efforts required to bring about lasting change. So I'm pleased to highlight the pivotal role that UNFPA plays in supporting endeavors to create caring territories for survivors of violence in the Gambia. As the lead UN agency for sexual and reproductive health and rights of women and girls, in partnership with the government of the Gambia, UNFPA supports initiatives to empower and prevent violence against women and girls. This initiative includes the establishment of one shelter. Believe it or not, there is only one shelter that I know of in the Gambia. And we have 10 one-stop centers in health facilities in parts of the country to provide integrated gender-based violence response services to survivors. UNFPA also supports the capacity building of law enforcement agents, the police force, healthcare providers, and GBV case managers to ensure survivors have access to comprehensive support services, including counseling, legal aid, and safe spaces. We developed 5 gender-based violence referral pathways with the Ministry of Gender to ensure mechanisms are in place to safely ensure survivors have access to health services, psychosocial support, case management, safety and security, justice, and legal aid. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, with all these initiatives in place, more needs to be done, given the stark reality of the high prevalence rate of violence against women and girls in our communities, regions, both in public and private spaces. To enhance this collaboration, UNFPA stands ready to partner with local government authorities, providing our invaluable technical assistance and expertise in measures that address the root causes of violence against women. UNFPA at the global level happened to have a memorandum of understanding with UCLG, working with mayors and local government leaders representing around 5 billion people and 70% of the world's population. UCLG and UNFPA will continue to strengthen policies and services to advance the International Cairo on Population and Development agenda of inclusive, equitable, and sustainable development for all. We will continue advocacy and activities to ensure progress on the key ICPD issues such as urbanization, demographic diversity, and universal access to family planning. The partnership will also support local governments and service providers to better understand the impact of population and development on the future of cities. In conclusion, Your Excellencies and distinguished guests, UNFPA in the Gambia calls on men and boys, and we are happy to see them here today, community and religious leaders, and local government officials above all, to act and make a positive difference in the lives of women and girls. Building these alliances and forming partnerships start at home and trickle down in our societies. It's time to put an end on all violence against women and girls in the Gambia and allow them to meet their full potential. Together, let's work towards creating caring territories that stand as a testament to our shared commitment to ending violence against women in the Gambia. May our discussions, which I believe started yesterday, be fruitful, and our collective efforts push us closer to the realization of caring territories for women survivors of violence in the Gambia and beyond. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Leiros, representative of UNFPA, for that brilliant statement. And thank you so much for closely highlighting the role of local government institutions in ensuring that we all join the fight against gender-based violence. Because as local government, they have a direct link to communities and have the power directly to be able to change the mindsets of individuals. We would also like to recognize the First Lady through her Fatoumata Barbaro Foundation, who is also doing extremely well. Who is also using her foundation to ensure that issues of sexual and gender-based violence and children-related matters are solved. So we really applaud your activities and interventions. So moving on, I will now invite another development partner that is very crucial when it comes to the plight of women. A round of applause for the representative of the UNDP. A round of applause.
Honorable Babak Boye, Minister of Public Service, representing His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia, Your Excellency, First Lady of the Gambia, Madame Fatoumata Barbaro, Emilia Sayers, Secretary General of the United Cities of Local Governance, Pascal Lab, Vice President of the United Cities on Local Governance, Lord Mayor of Banjul, and our hosts, Honorable Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Madame Safi Sakarib, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, members of the Diplomatic Corps, including the head of the French mission here present today, powerful and dynamic women leaders in the room here present, our committed he-for-she champions, good evening. I was expecting a response. Good evening. It truly is a great honor and privilege to stand before you today at this auspicious gathering. Violence against women remains a pervasive and deeply rooted challenge that transcends borders, affecting women of all ages, backgrounds, and walks of life. It is a violation of human rights, a barrier to gender equality, and a threat to sustainable development. In recognizing the urgency of addressing this issue, we as the United Nations Development Programme are proud, under your leadership, Lord Mayor, to be a part of this noble endeavor. Local governments play a critical and pivotal role in shaping the daily lives of their communities, and they're uniquely positioned to drive change at the grassroots levels and providing quality services that are much needed by their citizens. By fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing among cities and local governments worldwide, we certainly can continue to promote and create a powerful network committed to combating violence against women and looking at promoting gender equality. Ladies and gentlemen, this training program provides an invaluable opportunity for participants to enhance their understanding of the multifaceted nature of violence against women and to explore innovative strategies for prevention, intervention, and much needed support. I think one thing that COVID taught us with the increase of reported cases, in some countries up to 40% of violence against women. And I think my colleague, the UNFPA representative, said this is just the tip of the iceberg, as some people actually don't even report. The exchange of best practices and lessons learned in how we can address this matter will contribute to building a comprehensive and inclusive approach for this critical issue. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sustainable Development Goals are truly our global commitment to people and planet, and most importantly, to our future generations. Goal number 5, which calls for gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls, truly speaks to my heart. I think if we're investing in any opportunity that provides women's leadership in political participation, looks at enhancing democratic processes, looks at empowerment of women and girls, and strengthening decentralization and local governance, will have a huge impact in ensuring that we leave no one behind. These are some of the programmatic interventions that we are addressing here in the Gambia, working in close collaboration with all partners and under the leadership of the government. By investing in the elimination of violence against women, we're not only upholding the principles of human dignity and equality, but also advancing the broader agenda of sustainable development, inclusion, participation, and indeed human rights. Together, we can certainly harness the collective power of cities and local governments to create safer, more inclusive communities where every woman and girl child can live free from fear of violence. In my concluding remarks, I would just like to express my gratitude to the United Cities and Local Government World Secretariat, Rafela, and all partners for the collaboration in engaging this important event through South-South cooperation and ensuring that we continue our shared commitment in ending violence against women and inspire a positive change in all our communities that contribute to a more just and equal world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to the UNDP representative for those brilliant remarks. As a country, I think we should be particularly thankful to the UNDP for their efforts when it comes to empowering women on political participation. Like I mentioned in the introduction, it is lacking, and individuals such as Rohi Malik, who is the mayor of Banjul, and Tumanjai and others who are recently getting into politics are actually changing the narratives. We just saw the president of the Gambia Bar Association join us, Nene MC Chan. Thank you so much, a woman for that matter. When I saw that you won the presidency, I had a lot of hope, because the judiciary plays a very key role when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence processes. And we are all aware of slow processes in the country and just all the challenges that the judiciary gets to deal with when it comes to cases as such. So we really appreciate you joining us. A round of applause for her. So moving on, I will now invite the head of the French mission to the Gambia, Jean-Charles Arnott. A round of applause for him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your warm welcome. Madam First Lady, Honorable Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Your Lordship, Lord Mayor Banjul, Madame la Vice-Présidente du Conseil départemental de Seine-Saint-Denis, Honorable Ministers, Mrs. Secretary General of UCLG World Secretariat, dear colleagues from the diplomatic and consular corps and from the UN family, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's with a deep sense of honor that I'm here standing with you after a fruitful seminar organized by Her Lordship the Mayor of Banjul and the French Département of Seine-Saint-Denis, which is, for those who don't know it, it's the northern part of Greater Paris, with nearly 2 million citizens, which aimed at fighting violence against women. And I think this opens a major field of cooperation. Violence against women and more broadly inequality to women remains unfortunately till today a significant issue in the world. On the African continent, female genital mutilation and enforced marriage remain a form of violence against women that must be eradicated and condemned. When I was in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, I was shocked to discover with Dr. Denis Mukwege the long-term damages over generations, in fact, of the use of raping as a weapon of war. But the problem is far from being specifically African. We know that this has been used recently also in Europe, after the Russian invasion of Ukraine, for example. And this is not only one example, as no country is free from the curse of violence done to women. We experience them as well in European Union countries, and in my own country, I'm ashamed to say that tens of women are killed every year because of their gender. Such meetings, big and colorful meeting as today, and the seminar we had yesterday, are fundamental to speak out because many women experience too much fear to ask for help, often paying for their silence with their lives. We have to raise the issue publicly in order to give them the strength to overcome their shame and speak. It's also necessary to show the criminal that we are determined to bring them out to face their responsibilities. Putting an end to this violence must be a political priority for every democratic government. It is one of the multiple aspects of the French government's human rights policy and one of the pillars of our diplomacy, what we call our feminist diplomacy, which is a natural complement of our domestic policy. Our government was a co-organizer of the Generation Equality Forum in 2021 to promote gender equality, fight gender-based violence, promoting women's economic empowerment, ensuring access to education and health care, encouraging women's participation in decision-making and advocating for inclusive and intersectional policies. In this context, it's important to have the support of the local government. They work closer to the people. They know better than us in the central government the everyday life of the people. France has a reputation of being a very centralized government, but we also have a section of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs dedicated to the support of local government cooperation. So good. I would like to express my gratitude to the Seine-Saint-Denis Departmental Council and especially to its Observatory on Violence Against Women, who are deeply committed to this worthy cause and their effort to give international resonance to their work by collaborating with international partners. It's a pride to our country. I also want to express my thanks to the city of Banjul and particularly to Lord Mayor Mrs. Rohi Malik Low for her tireless involvement to the cause of the right of women. I want to congratulate warmly all the organizers of this seminar and events for their commitment and thank them for the invaluable information exchange which will help our country to face our common challenge. I hope that these events will be the starting point for a new collaboration, and I can tell you the determination of my government to go on supporting organizations of civil society here in the Gambia and elsewhere in the world, and show its solidarity, solidarité, as we say in French. Thank you very much for your attention.
Solidarité, solidarité. Thank you so much. We appreciate your intervention there. So moving on, Honorable Mayor of Banjul, I don't know who put together your guest list, but that individual deserves a round of applause because I hardly go to events and see a diverse group as such, individuals coming from different walks of life. I see the CEO of the Edward Francis Moore Teaching Hospital. Health plays a very significant role when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence. For example, when rape happens, the point of call, apart from the police, is the health sector, which is very important. I also see individuals who have something to do with education. We have to also revisit our education system to ensure that we bring back courses such as POP FLE and all the other areas where young people, especially young girls, will be able to be equipped to say no when they need to say no. So education really plays a key role as well as health. So we appreciate your coming here as well. So moving on, now we'll be joined by the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament to give few remarks, but just to remind him that I did put him on the spot before, so you play a significant role when it comes to being a he for she, in the Parliament. I know it does not go that way, as easy as I am saying it. But at the end of the day, if the willingness comes from the top, I'm sure parliamentarians will be able to be convinced so that when next a bill to bring about a quota system comes to Parliament, we will ensure that it is pushed, at least give it a chance to go to the different stages just to understand what it wants to put on the table. So the Deputy Speaker will just invite you to give us a few remarks before we move on.
jërë ngeen jëf kontaan naa trop Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Madam Fatoumata Barrow, the Honorable Minister for Public Service, Reform, Strategy, Policy Delivery, and Regional Government and Lands, standing in for His Excellency the President of the Republic. Madam Mariam Jallo, the wife of His Excellency the Vice President, the Secretary General of the United Cities of Local Government, and all mayors of cities around the world here in present, His Excellency the former Vice President A.N.M. Dabo, National Assembly members here in present, I can see Honorable Abdullah Njai and Honorable Bah of Banjul. You're most welcome. And all other members of the National Assembly, Chairman of Area Council, I can see some of them here present, the Deputy Mayor and Councillors of Banjul City Council and all other councillors, the UNDP resident representative and or her representative here in present, the UNFPA, Ajaratu Maimuna Balde, National Women Mobilizer of the National People's Party, NPP, the head of French delegation to the Gambia, Madam Fatou Jan Senghor, wives of honorable ministers here in present, organizing committee members of this very important event, women, youth, and young companies, and all those invited guests here in present. The Lord Mayor of the Banjul City Council, Ajaratu Lohi Malik Lo, Yai Puram Besbi, Nula Gerem de la Santa, Suturi His Excellency President Adama Barrow, Nula Gerem. Your Excellency, Madam First Lady, I am honored to address this esteemed Dahaba, Yanene, Suso, the Gambia Police Force, the protocols, security, and everybody, including the MC. I recognize you and thank you very much. Madam First Lady, I'm honored to address this esteemed gathering in my capacity as the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia. But most importantly, as the Lord Mayor indicated, we here to also express our profound gratitude and appreciation to His Excellency the President, President Adama Barrow, for his instruction to work with the Lord Mayor and to put all logistical arrangements in place to ensure that the guests of the Lord Mayor are adequately catered for, as the President indicated, and even this morning during the audience, this conclave is of national importance. It's no longer a political party or so, and the President indicated that once politics is over, all colors of various political parties are put aside and work for the interests and betterment of this country. And on that line, His Excellency the President has given all his support, 100%, and asked that we deploy all the necessary logistic and arsenals to help his sister, the Lord Mayor of Banjul, in making sure that this event becomes a success. I extend my gratitude to the Banjul City Council under the distinguished leadership of Lord Mayor Rohima Diglo for successfully hosting this international training workshop. I also extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Emilia Sars, Secretary General of the United Cities and Local Government, mayors, delegations from respective cities, and all international partners to the Gambia. The theme for this convergence reads, towards caring territories for women victims of violence and of court. Is indeed apt. Violence against women remains a grave violation of human rights, persisting in our societies and threatening the safety, dignity, and well-being of women worldwide. This deeply rooted issue stems from historical norms, structural barriers, and underrepresentations of women in leadership. Patriarchal attitudes and gender stereotypes contribute significantly to the violence against women. These ingrained beliefs perpetuate the idea of women's inferiority, fostering a culture that normalizes and condones violence against them. Challenging and dismantling these harmful norms are crucial to creating societies that respect and value the rights of all individuals regardless of gender. Addressing violence against women requires a comprehensive understanding of the mitigating factors and a collective effort to eliminate them. I'm confident that the exchange of experiences during this training on policies and programs to combat violence against women will yield positive results in our quest to eliminate and combat all forms of violence against women. Governments of the Gambia, having recognized the urgent need to combat violence against women, enacted legislation such as the Women's Act of 2010 and ratified international conventions, all of which seek to address this pressing issue. The commitment of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Adama Barrow, and his quest to building a just society where women's rights are respected is evident through the establishment of the Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Welfare. While governments play a crucial role, the collective effort of civil society organizations, activists, and individuals are essential in this crusade. To address this, we must commit to gender mainstreaming, the quota system, employment initiatives, education, and civil society engagement. These measures aim to dismantle barriers, fostering inclusivity and ensuring a more representative and effective approach to combating violence against women. I urge all participants to actively engage in deliberations and formulate recommendations that clearly define the crucial role of local and central governments in combating violence against women. As most of the violence occurs in our local communities, policy implementations at central and local levels is essential. In conclusion, violence against women is a multifaceted issue requiring a comprehensive approach. By mitigating factors such as patriarchal attitudes, socioeconomic disparities, inadequate legal frameworks, and lack of education and awareness, we can work towards a society that respects and upholds the rights of women and all individuals, ensuring a world free of violence and discrimination. It is our collective responsibility to stand together, take actions, and create lasting change. And on that note, on behalf of the entire membership of the National Assembly of the Republic of the Gambia, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish you a fruitful and productive session. Thank you all. Well, Jennifer talked about creating the quota system. That is very important so that women will be present in all decision making, most especially where legislations are enacted. Nonetheless, there are others who believe that is discriminatory. They can even go in for 50%. But as a developing country, it is important that we start from somewhere where we'll be able to give them the opportunity to partake in nation building. And I want to thank you, and I want to thank His Excellency President Adama Barrow for standing by the women of this country, and ensuring that we created all the enabling environment in addition to building a democratic state where institutions are being built, guaranteeing the rights, liberties, protections, and safety of all and sundry. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that statement, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. I am glad that you mentioned that this event and the fight against sexual and gender-based violence has nothing to do with politics. I see the Deputy Speaker seated here. I see Honorable Usainu Dabo seated there, and individuals from all the political parties here. It means that we have to come together collectively. And when it comes to issues like this, politics does not stand out at all. What stands out is every individual in this hall coming up with an innovative solution or being in your corner and saying no on behalf of another individual when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence. So this is a good way of ensuring togetherness towards the fight. Excuse me. So up next, we will be joined by the individual that ensured that this particular event is happening in the Gambia. And we are so grateful that you chose the Gambia. Like the mayor said, there are tons of cities that you could have chose from to actually host this event. But there's a reason why you chose the Gambia, because it's the smiling coast of Africa. And we have nice Benachin, we have nice Domoda. I'm not sure if the Honorable Mayor already gave you Benachin and Domoda. I'm not sure about that, but I think it's a recommendation that you have to try these before you leave. So ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Madam Emilia Sai, Secretary General, UCLG World Secretariat.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear sister. What a discovery I made so many years ago. Little did I know that you were going to change UCLG's agenda all over the world, and that you were going to chair the greatest feminist movement that we have, that is Refela, with the basis in Africa. Thank you very much, dear sister, for welcoming me here. Minister, First Lady, Deputy Speaker, colleagues from UNDP, UNFPA, brothers, sisters, dear representatives, I have to say, you look wonderful today. You look beautiful today. And it is that beauty and that strength that we are bringing to a very, very difficult debate, to a very difficult conversation. Because your chanting and your applause and your smiles in the smile of Africa cannot make us forget this is a very difficult, challenging topic that we are discussing together. We are suffering. The world is suffering. It's not individuals that are suffering, it's not a part of the population that is suffering. If we accept violence against women, if we suffer violence as women, the whole of society is suffering. And this is why we need to face it. And we need to face it head on. We need to talk about it, like you have been doing in this training. We need to openly discuss this. We need to challenge some of the cultural patterns and norms that are saying to us this is acceptable because it is not. It is not acceptable. This is an agenda of dignity. It is an agenda of justice. And it is an agenda of equality. And dignity, justice, and equality is not something that you get. It's something that you construct. It's something that you decide. It's something that you conquer. You will conquer, I am certain. You are the generation that is going to conquer. It is your power that is going to transform the world. And in order to do that, who else do we need to conquer? We need to conquer ourselves, and we need to also conquer the men and women that are not convinced yet. And hence, I find what is happening here today in the Gambia something that can serve as a great example. This very difficult topic is gathering us across colors, across parties, across spheres of government, across stakeholders. It's a job that we need to do, and that starts at home. We need to start with the little boys and girls. It is to them that we need to show the path towards equality. It is your sons and daughters that we will determine, that will be determining how this future that you're trying to forge is actually going to work. The transformation that we need will not bring the type of development that we want if it does not respond to your dreams, to your expectations, and if it does not transform in service provision that changes your life, that makes your life worth living day after day after day. And that's why we want to make the connection between the sphere of government that is closest to the people, the national government, and the international community. We want to demonstrate that the capacity of local and regional governments to deliver services needs to be strengthened. We need a different investment. We need more capacity. We need more young people getting involved in public service. We need more investment, human and financial investment. And that is not something that any single actor, any single sphere of government, any single country can do alone. It's a collective effort. It is an effort of the international community, but it's your individual effort as well. And this is why I am so happy that you are joining us here today. That you are joining the vision of members of United Cities and local governments like the Department of Saint-Saint-Denis in France, and the 20-year experience that they have with their observatory on violence against women. Their willingness to share experiences, to learn from others, is what has brought us here. Yes, sure, the leadership of the mayor of Banjul, the special case of Gambia, you have brought us here. But also the to share their experience, to share their capacity, and to realize that nothing is any longer local anymore. That all the local is global, and all the global is local again. That you will not be able to educate your children by thinking about the neighborhood or the city alone. That your children will have the aspiration to be global citizens. And that is an aspiration that needs to be met, and it can only be met if all spheres of government work together with the international community and we find our joint humanity. Look, it has been a long day, and I don't want to keep you much longer. I just want to share with you that in order for true equality to happen, in order for us to eradicate violence, we need to change our institutions. We need to change the patterns in which our institutions work. We need to change the legal frameworks, and we need to make sure that when our parties do not promote candidatures of women, what do we say? Solidarity. That when our parties present a candidature of women, who do we support? Solidarity. And that when we need to pass a law and to pass a decision that is difficult to accept, but will support the women in your city, in your country, in your region, we will also need to scream, yes, solidarity. We will only be able to do it with a renewed leadership. A leadership that you carry, that you know, a leadership that is embodied here by both the mayor of Banjul and the president of this wonderful country. A leadership that puts colors aside. A leadership that has a vision. For the needs of this generation, yes, sure, but also for those generations to come. It's my first time in the Gambia. It will not be the last. I'm taking a full heart and the feeling that I belong. Thank you very much. We are here for you, sister.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that statement. I am particularly empowered about or inspired about how action-oriented she is, and that is what we need. We need more actions than just convening, having conversations, and not impacting. So we are really appreciative of that. A round of applause for her one more time. So Mayor, because today is your day, you are hosting this in Gambia, we have a surprise for you. Yes. So the surprise is, we decided to put together one of your favorite individuals on television. Can you guess that? No? One of your favorite in television. Who are the individuals who always have something to say about you? Who are the comedians that always have something to say about you? You know them? Okay. So let us welcome Wagan and Hadinyang. We have a surprise. They have a surprise play for the mayor. We were supposed to have a kora player, but found a special and perfect replacement for that interlude before we have the public service minister. Please welcome them. I know you all enjoy them on television. Give them a round of applause.
ku ñu bëgg ku ñu yëg ku ñu faale ku ñu safoo ki nga xam ne jigéen la bu mën jóg jigéen la boo xam ne fi góor ñi di taxaw lay taxaw te lu wax ne mooy am lu mooy am te bàyyi ko solo ak ki la ñu war a bés bi nag moom su ko xeebee ñun xeebuñ ko dañ koo dégg rek jóg ñëw wax ko ne ñun ñu ngi yëgee lañ ko yëgee waa ana Rohi Malick Lo Rohi
His Excellency President Adam Barrow suma harit suma mag suma liggéey suma lépp jàpp na si bis bi waaye di nuyu nag First Lady waaw maa nuyu First Lady Madame Fatoumata Bah Barrow ko ñaanal nag mu defal a wér kontaan naa ci moom waaye nag di nuyu député député speaker bu National Assembly maa ngi kontaan si moom di kontaan si képp ko fi déggee di leen wane nag maa ngi gërëm Qcell Mohamed Dia suma xarit ci boppam suma rakki boppam Mohamed suma rakk la waaw kontaan naa ci moom ak soxnaam suba bu loolu passé nag
an sa baay ñëw
suma baay ma
sa papa
suma fa
waaw
ali xale bu ngoy jooyloo
di ñëw na di dégg naa ko di honorable seen
waaw ay waay suma papa ay bopp ji kooku mooy lépp si man
bi ko xoolee loo ko wax
Alaaji Ousseynou Dabo ku ko tàcc yéen a nga tàcc demee
waaw bi ko xoolee loo ko wax
suma papa suma xarit dama ko ne papa dama la bëgg a gis si mbooloo bi mu ne ma naateew
lu mu la ko waxee
ma ne ko papa boo ñëwee lay wax asalaamaaleykum suma doom la yàlla dogal suma bébé suma kontaan
tey bul jooy ana ko ngoo de waaw
hari tu kumbola hari tu kumbola hari no mo kendo la ni tu boba ni tu boba sama ma ko bela ta tu la ba
waaw président bi ko boole lan la la wax waaw mu ne la lan
boor bële maa ngi leen di ñaan pour ñu toog rek su ko defee ñu bàyyi ministre bi mu wax moom su paree ñu mën a continuer. So the Honorable Minister for Public Service is here ably representing the President of the Gambia. I just want to highlight that the President has also contributed in a way when it comes to issues relating to women. For example, when you take a look at the National Assembly, the President has nominated 2 women to have a seat and have a say at the National Assembly. So I think some of these things are worth recognizing. But now we'll just invite the Minister for Public Service to deliver the closing remarks, and then from there we can enjoy as much as we can. A round of applause for him. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for coming and representing the President of the Gambia. A round of applause, everyone. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the First Lady of the Republic of the Gambia, Madam Fatou Barbaro, I want to recognize Madam Mariam Majano, Sponsor for Vice President, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Secretary General of the United Cities and Local Governments, World Secretariat, the Mayor of Banjul and your guests, mayors from local governments from Africa, the former Vice President of the Republic of the Gambia, Mr. Hussein Dawda. I want to recognize the former Speaker of the National Assembly, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, heads of UN agencies, the President of GALGA, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands, the RAFELA National Coordinator and other RAFELA members here present, and all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. I want to first of all extend His Excellency the President's apology for not being able to join you here to grace this important occasion due to other state engagements. But I guess the fact that he was able to make time this morning to meet you with your delegation demonstrates his commitment to your cause. Ladies and gentlemen, I think choosing the Gambia to host this occasion is not a mistake. The government of His Excellency President Adama Barrow, cognizant of the importance that women play in national development, I think has demonstrated in different ways this important gesture by creating the Ministry of Women's Affairs. And if we are to stand here and list this demonstration, I don't think I can leave this podium And I just want to make reference to few of the things that he has done to prove this point. Earlier on, the Deputy Speaker did mention the instruction that he gave for all hands to be put on deck to make sure that this program that the Gambia is hosting becomes a successful one. And it's no surprise. Those of us who know President Barrow and the importance he attaches to women and the role they play in his development agenda, I'm sure you would agree with me that that instruction is just a drop in the ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm told that the main objective of this training is to exchange experiences between stakeholders on policies and programs to combat violence against women, and it is being held within the framework of the international program dubbed Caring Territories for Women Victims of Violence 2021 to 2024. And that program builds on 20 years of experience of the local observatory on violence against women in the Department of Seine-Saint-Denis, France. Its objectives is to emphasize the crucial role of local and regional governments in combating violence against women through training, mutual learning, and joint international advocacy, leveraging the work of UCLG and its Committee on Social Inclusion, Participatory Democracy, and Human Rights. Ladies and gentlemen, I am grateful and happy to inform you that the Ministry of Lands and Regional Governments, which I am currently overseeing, is very much aware of the responsibility that it has when it comes to addressing the issue of gender-based violence with respect to the engagements of local government authorities. And I'm happy that the Permanent Secretary is here with us and is taking note of the comments and issues being raised on this matter. And I want to assure you that through the government of the Gambia's efforts, the local government authorities will in no small way do its utmost to make sure that issues of gender-based violence is addressed at the level of local government authorities. However, I want to caution that the issue of gender-based violence, if it is to be addressed from a problem-solving perspective, we need to be very mindful of the context within which it has to be tackled. And I'm saying this because the data that has been shared with us by the UNFPA representative has amply demonstrated the fact that there is a problem. And the debate is not about whether the problem exists or not. The debate should be about how do we deal with it. And my little advice is, let us be mindful of the context within which we are going to deal with this issue. We need not be confrontational, but the issue can be tackled using our social and cultural, structures to deal with them. I'll share with you a little bit of experience on this matter. There was a time the issue of teenage pregnancy was a very serious matter in the education sector. And we had some partners who said to us that you need legislation to deal with it. Our approach was different. Whilst we were working on the legislation, we said to them we would adopt a strategy that would ensure that girls that are pregnant will be taken back to school. A strong guidance and counseling unit did the work. And how? In each school, there was a guidance and counseling unit that would report any case of teenage pregnancy in the school, and at the level of the headquarters, within a week or two, after that girl's delivery, the individual will be placed to continue her education. The approach they wanted us to take was to go on television and inform the public that this is a government's policy. I said no. It's better to remain as a silent policy that is going to work. And the reason for not going on television was based on the fact that if we did, those people who were against Western education would have started going to the communities to say that the schools are encouraging girls who are pregnant to be in school. And it was only affecting 0.05% of the population, of the school population. Why would we risk taking that approach to lose the 95.5% that were not affected by the phenomenon? And that was how it was dealt with. So, this issue of gender-based violence, nobody is denying the fact that it exists. But my advice is, let us try and come up with effective strategies that can allow us to deal with them in the most effective way without necessarily being confrontational. It can be done. If you tell an old man in Nyankuy or Bolibanda or Sarasofi that this girl is a victim of gender-based violence, her human rights is being violated, does that old man know what human rights is? Use an approach that would make that gender-based violence case to be addressed without necessarily being confrontational. That's why I'm saying the context within which the issue has to be addressed must be looked at. Let us work on our laws, let us work on our social and local structures to make sure that we come up with the most effective way of dealing with the issue. The problem is there. As the UNFPA representative said, 1 out of every 4 women is experiencing sexual and gender-based violence. It's like 25%. 25 out of every 100 women. It's a problem. But how? That is, for me, the issue. And I want to encourage you to approach it, as I said, from a problem-solving perspective. If we are to solve problems, I think the best option of, using the best option to use, I think, is what we should really focus on. I am also told that in 2024, your program to deal with this gender-based violence will focus on exploring the challenges and opportunities of fighting the phenomenon in African local governments, building on the remarkable strength of this manual training. I want to encourage you to pursue that line. And ladies and gentlemen, I want, in conclusion, to thank all the agencies that have been supporting the government of the Gambia, from the UN agencies, the international agencies that are here with us. And I want to single out Rafaela, and I also want to single out the French Corporation for supporting the Gambia government and all those institutions that are engaged in the fight against gender-based violence. With these few remarks, I want to thank all of you for your kind attention and wish you a successful meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you so much to the Honorable Minister of Public Service. So this brings us to the end of this event today. But like I said in the beginning, each and every one of us in this hall has a responsibility when it comes to sexual and gender-based violence. You have your own voice and you can use your voice to stop something. For example, when it comes to trafficking in persons, research shows that some of the houses that these women are housed are owned by women, or transportation or any other form of a business that is related to sexual and gender-based violence. You have a voice in your individual communities to stop somebody. And you do not have to be in the place of authority. You don't have to be a manager or a director to solve issues relating to sexual and gender-based violence. Even the little efforts that you will make in your own communities can bring about that change. So let us all go back to our communities and ensure that we are the change that we want to see. We will just allow the high table to move. Thank you so much to the First Lady and to the entire development partners for joining us to ensure that we have a successful event. And to the Mayor, thumbs up, keep up the good work and keep inspiring. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. And a round of applause for me. Did you forget me? Thank you. Thank you.
Well, it's okay. Yes. It's very
No, this one makes for the is better because it's everybody.
Inshallah,
Go